Good morning. I hope everyone is well. Today I want to speak about boundaries and how, as human beings, and also even if you have a pet or a fur baby, they all require boundaries. As children, that's how we learn. That's how we know right from wrong. If we're pushing too far, all these things, it's all about learning. And as we grow up, it's also about how we protect our heart, our mind, and our souls. Boundaries are a good thing, but unfortunately, as life has evolved over these years, boundaries have kind of faded. You can see it within the school systems. You can see it with the way children speak to their parents, or the way adults speak to other adults. They think it's okay to push other boundaries that are put in place for reasons. Like in a school setting, there is boundaries. Don't have your cell phone or mobile phone, whatever you want to call it, with you in class. Why? Because it's distracting. We're there to learn. Same as if you are doing something outside, maybe you're doing forest school. The same with that is, you want to be in the moment, concentrating on what is going around you, the beautiful scenery, not sitting on your phones. These are healthy boundaries, very healthy, because they help us to socialize, they help us to learn things outside of a cell phone, a mobile phone. But unfortunately, life has become a thing of, well, you can't tell me what to do. Well, I understand that, but boundaries are healthy in the sense of they show us how to socialize with other people of different ways, different cultures, different mindsets, different everything. And it's also about respecting someone else's boundary. It's like if somebody turned around and said, well, don't say this to me because it upsets me. That is them saying to you, this is my boundary. Please do not push it because it affects me mentally or with my heart. And that's understandable. And that's a boundary that shouldn't be crossed. There are boundaries that can be crossed in the sense of trying to get out of your normal comfort zone. Do you know what I mean? Like trying to grow, evolve a bit, but not to the detriment of messing with somebody's mental health. Boundaries are something that is different to everybody on this planet. We all have different boundaries, what we find acceptable and what we don't find acceptable. But if somebody is telling you, this is my boundary, please do not do it, it might not be your boundary, but it's their boundary. That means if you love and care for them, or even if you don't, that is someone else's boundary. And you don't know, if you push them too far, that maybe that boundary is going to break them and something is going to lead to a domino effect of negative feelings. So we have to be really careful when it comes to boundaries, because think of it this way. If you said to one of your friends or to somebody, this is my boundary, you can't do this, you know what I mean, because it affects me. You are saying, this is my line. So how would you feel if somebody pushed that boundary and kept pushing it and kept pushing it? You would be devastated, you would be angry, or you might even just crumble into yourself, and it can cause somebody to tip over that edge with their mental health. So we have to be very wary, not wary, but respectful of boundaries that are in place, because we just don't know what the other person has gone through or is going through and why these boundaries are in place. Respect is a big thing in culture. And then you have people who've put in boundaries to look after their mental health and to look after their hearts and their souls, but then they let the boundaries be stepped on because they feel guilty that they've put a boundary in place. So it could be a set of instances where you've said to a friend, please don't call me that, even if it's a joke. Please don't call me that. I find it upsetting and it triggers me. You've set the boundary. You've said please. You've explained why. But that friend then still carries on doing this. You as a person who has put that boundary in place then haven't got the strength to keep on putting that boundary in place, because you might be the type of person who is just more introverted, a bit shy, you don't really stand up for yourself, so you will start to let that boundary fade away. And then what happens? This person keeps on doing it and they think, well, that boundary obviously didn't mean much, so I'm going to carry on. And then it can get worse. What happens to the person who put the boundary in place? Their mental health gets worse. They start feeling that they are that they are lesser, that no one actually gives a damn about their opinions and about their boundary. So even though sometimes it can be a joke and sometimes you could be just messing around with a friend, if somebody has put in a boundary, please, please, please keep that boundary, because you don't know what is going to tip that person over the edge. You don't know if that could be just that pinnacle point that drives them into doing something that you would dread them to do. Boundaries are put in place by all types of people. You have boundaries in work, you have boundaries in schools, and I know we all like to rebel and we all like to, step outside of our comfort zones. Stepping outside of your comfort zone is great, but not on someone else's boundary put in place. Just think about it. Think about the way you speak to others. Are you lighting them up? Are you really making them feel good about themselves? Or are you walking all over their boundaries and making them feel even more crap? Because everyone deserves to have a boundary, no matter what it is, no matter how stupid it might seem to you. It is their line. It is their boundary in place. We have to respect that. So, boundaries. We might not understand other people's boundaries, but we at least have to respect them and try a bit harder. And if you are that person who struggles to put in a boundary, I can understand that, because you might be more reserved, you might have been brought up in a way that you are seen and not heard. I get that. But we also need to start taking small steps towards our independence and our boundaries, so that we can live the life that we deserve, that you are meant to live without the fear of people walking all over you all the time. You deserve this. You deserve to thrive just like any other human in this world. Start small. Start small with yourself and let it start building over time. Sit with the people that you care for and say, this is what I'm feeling. And if you can't speak those words, write them down. Give them a letter explaining how it makes you feel. Because you deserve to feel good. You don't deserve to feel walked all over. So, on that note, boundaries are important, but life is for living. Think about today how you can make stronger boundaries, or you can start respecting somebody else's boundaries, even if you don't understand them. Have a great day. Much love. Bye.